Hey everybody, in today's video we're going to be looking at the Multiband 6 atomic time signal functionality on these two Casio G-Shock watches. This is the GW-9010, better known as the Atomic Rally Mudman. This is the GW-9500, which is the new Mudman, same thing, atomic, meaning it's got Multiband 6 functionality. What we're talking about there is if you've got it turned on every night, the watch will try to manually or automatically connect to a time signal station and set the time on the watch. You can turn that functionality off. You can also do this manually. And I'm going to show you a couple differences with these two models. So the 9010 watch was kind of cool the way Casio did it. You see this box here in the middle. If you get a successful reception for that day, that box will be populated with a G. In my case, you can tell that I did not get a successful reception for today's date, which is November 2nd. Because there's no G in there. When we do a manual pull here in a second, you will get to see what that looks like. If I wanted to go see when was the last time I successfully received an atomic signal, I would press the bottom right button. When I press it, it shows me that time value. The last time I successfully pulled a signal automatically on this watch, or the last time the watch was set by the Multiband 6 functionality, was yesterday actually, on November 1st at 2:04 a.m. So that's kind of how that works. Let me go ahead and back out of that. If I wanted to pull a manual signal with this watch while it's in the timekeeping mode, I would press and hold the bottom right button, and that puts it into manual receiving mode. You can now see that G that's blinking up there, and then you can see receive, and then the level of my signal strength, which is currently a level 1. I'm indoors, I'm probably not going to get a successful reception. You can see now it jumped up to level 3. So let's sit here for a second and see what happens. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll lay that down and we'll let it pull the signal. Now let's look at the 9500. It's pretty similar in the way that it works. Unfortunately, you don't have a cool G or anything on the dial. You have a little triangle that displays over here under REC indicator. That will let you know whether or not the watch successfully pulled a signal from the night before. What's cool with this one though is it has its own independent mode. So if you want to go see when was the last time an atomic signal was set for this watch, you're going to use the mode button. And you have a receiving mode. So in this case, I can tell that this watch successfully received a signal for the last time today at 12:05 a.m. If I wanted to manually pull a signal on this watch while I'm in receiving mode, I'm going to press and hold the bottom right button, which is the altimeter button on this. There's a lot of benefits to this watch. You've got an altimeter, you've got a compass, you've got a barometer. This one, you basically have a cool watch that pulls an atomic signal and solar power, but it doesn't have any of that other functionality. I'm going to press and hold the altimeter button, and now it's doing the same thing. It's pulling an atomic signal. You can see that little triangle up there blinking. That's your receiving indicator. Again, if you're successful, that will stay on the screen to let you know that you're successful. Both of them will display your current time while you're pulling that manual signal, and then both of them will show the level of the strength. What's weird with this one is you notice the screen's blank. It takes a while before it starts showing a display on here. But I'm going to let you look at both of them while it pulls the signal. This process can take anywhere from 1 to 20 minutes. There's a lot of things that factor in whether or not you get an atomic signal. One, your home location on the watch has to be set to a location that you can pull a signal from. The other thing is weather, the building you're in, the material that you're around, trees, all of that stuff can have an impact. You'll notice both of these watches were sitting in the same location last night. This one successfully pulled a signal, this one did not. So it kind of acts weird the way this process works. Both of them are level 3 right now. But again, because we're indoors, my assumption is that we will not get a successful pull. Ideally, you would have the watches facing a window, or you would have them in an outside location. I mentioned weather pattern having something to do with it. I've had it before where these watches are sitting on a watch case, same location every night, and it can go a week, they won't get a successful signal, and then all of a sudden they'll get a successful one. So again, your weather pattern has a lot to do with it. So this one was successful. That's kind of interesting. You'll notice the G is staying in the middle. So I got a successful reception. It has also updated that reception time to today's date at 11:10 p.m. When you're done pulling the signal on this one, if I don't do anything, it'll eventually put me back in my timekeeping screen. If I press the bottom right button, that'll put me back in my timekeeping screen. And that's what it looks like when you get a successful reception on the 9010 version. So let's see what happens with the 9500. Let's see if we happen to get a successful signal on this one. And there we go. This one was successful as well. You can tell there's the receiving indicator that is up top. It says get. It's updated my date and my time for the last time that I successfully got a reception. On this one, I'm going to simply press the mode button to get back to my timekeeping mode. And now we can see what it looks like when both of these watches have successfully pulled in a signal for that given day. I've got my receiving indicator that's on my screen up here. It's that little triangle that at a glance tells me that for the given day, I've pulled a successful atomic reception. And then on this one, you've got the G in the middle that's basically doing the same thing. Anyway, I hope that gives you an idea of how these two watches differ or are the same with regards to the manual reception. Hope the video helped. Hope you enjoyed it.